Hello everyone, this video is a film criticism and analysis of the 27th film entitled Barboys, directed by Keep Obanda. So we will divide the discussion into three parts. First is the themes, second is the elements, and last is the conclusion. So for the themes, Barboys presented a number of themes that reflect the realities of life. So first of which is the struggles among the social classes. So Carlo Aquino's character, Eric, depicts someone who is not too privileged enough to have every resource available for him, yet he is striving and surviving to reach his dreams. Eric comes from a poor family with his father only working as a security guard. Nonetheless, his father works very hard up to the point of getting sick just to support his child and paying the high tuition fees of law school. So this portrayal of a family that bonds and supports each other just to reach their dreams truly portrays the reality of low to middle class families na talagang gagawin ang lahat, kakayod para sa pamilya at para sa anak. And because once the education is achieved and Eric becomes finally a lawyer, it would elevate their quality of lives and remove them from the struggles of poverty. On the other hand, Enzo Pinedo's character, Chris, coming from a very wealthy family, is very privileged financially. Yet he is struggling emotionally. And as he said in the film,
"It doesn't mean na mayaman ako na wala akong problema! Itong honors na to, ito na nga lang yung only way na para ma-appreciate ako ng dad ko. Ikaw, pamilya mo, they love you, they care for you, wow, buti ka pa!"
So here, we are given another point of view of the rich class. We may not see them struggling in life because of their wealth, but the reality is they are. They are pressured to be as successful as their parents, they are pressured to be the best, and to always meet the expectations set for them. So lastly, Rocco Nacino's character, Turan, is found between the first two characters. So he is not as rich as Chris, nor as unfortunate as Eric, but he also does not face the same pressures as the first two characters had. So he is often found jolly, smiling, and overflowing with confidence. However, Turan's struggle starts in the middle of the film as he joins the fraternity in hope of establishing connections but finds himself in the middle of moral dilemmas instead. And speaking of fraternities, that would be the second theme. So the film also shows its audiences different views of these brotherhood organizations. So fraternities had been infamous, especially in the recent years, on the reports of hazing, injuries, initiations, and Barboys depicted that negative image of fraternities to the point of someone getting injured and disabled. However, it also balances that negative connotation of fraternities with the scenes showing the brothers' support to each other in their upcoming bar exams, as well as when one needs a favor or a request. Third, Barboys also presents social issues and gives its audiences the realities of the justice system in the Philippines. So aside from showing its audiences the hardships of law students, it portrays the significance and importance of lawyers, of good and competent lawyers in the society. So firstly, Kian Cipriano's character gives us some hints on how politicians and dirty businessmen get away with their cases because of their lawyers.
Kayo ba sigurado na kayo dito? Sigurado ka kayo mag-lawyer kayo? Nakita niyo ba yung mga politiko, yung mga businessmen na nandyan? Nakakalusot yung mga yun kasi magagaling yung mga lawyers nila.
But more than that, Ms. Odette Can's discussion on her pro bono case in defending the farmers against the notorious lawyer of the rich landowners, as well as her line,
"Buhay, kalayaan at pag-asa ang nakataya sa bawat batas at bawat artikulong binabasa ninyo o hindi nyo binabasa."
That just gives us how really important and great being a lawyer is, and how important it is to serve justice in order to alleviate the suffering of the poor and give them hope for the better future. Going to the elements of the film, Barboys played with colors and its symbolisms throughout the duration of the movie. Each of its main characters had their own color that was present and consistent all throughout the film. Turan, being the one with the sharp tongue, the fierce, and the one with overflowing confidence, is often seen wearing the color red, signifying the power, pride, and attitude his character has, plus the enjoyment he is having in his life. On the other hand, Chris is often seen wearing shades of blue, signifying his intelligence and stability. However, it would also symbolize the sadness and sorrow lying deep inside his character as he tries to prove his worth to his dad all throughout his life. And lastly, Eric's character is seen wearing white, cream, and gray colors, signifying blandness, and this absence of vivid colors means that his character lacks fun and enjoyment in his life. So this is mainly because of the difficulties in his life that he has to go through on his journey of becoming a lawyer. Moreover, there is a shift from being colorful to a monochrome. So in the first half of the film, where the characters are still enjoying their lives, the frames are full of colors, with each character depicting their own color as mentioned earlier. However, as the film progresses, the character starts to wear shades of black that symbolizes formality, maturity, and possibly the loss of enjoyment as they start to be preoccupied with their studies. And aside from the characters, the film also manipulates the colors in the scene itself. The hazing scene, of course, made use of the black color and darkness to make the viewers feel that something bad is going to take place. Meanwhile, scenes shot at Eric's house also depicts the tones of white, cream, and brown, giving a sepia vibe. And although most of these scenes gives a sad mood or a sad vibe, there is always a light present that signifies the hope that his family has, the hope of Eric to finish his studies and alleviate their family from the struggles they are facing. Next would be the sounds. So the film had a nice sound design. So it was nice how it used sound to make the transition smooth, such as here. When the person is about to be injured, the scene suddenly shifted to Turan biting his chip in the library. So the breaking of the bones was implied with the sound produced by the chips of Turan, and the transition was actually smooth. Also, the abrupt muting of the music also contributes to the effectiveness of the scene. So one example of which is when Eric was telling his professor that he would do anything just to raise his grades, the sexy music builds up the mood for the supposed sexual favor Eric was about to do. But the abrupt switching off of the sound breaks the mood, as well as the idea of the sexual favor thing between the professors, students, and the gay community. Another example was the Condiman music that Eric was listening to for his study playlist. So the relaxing Condiman music preoccupies Eric's mind such that he is very focused on what he is reading, not noticing that his father had already collapsed on the floor. But then as his mother removed his headphones, the music stopped and Eric is brought back to the reality. Lastly, the film also had nice techniques in its framing, angle, and camera motion. So most of the scenes made use of the rule of thirds, in which the subject is placed upon the intersection of the lines of the grid, and here are some of the examples. Also, this scene, aside from focusing just on Eric, it also included a door in which the viewer's eye can be hooked into that something might appear there and happen there, in which the mother of Eric entered the scene. And moreover, the camera motion and focusing help in improving the cinematography and highlighting the certain scenes and ideas. So in conclusion, Bar Boys was a nice film with a mix of seriousness, comedy, and drama, and the actors delivered very well. Miss Odette Can portrayed perfectly a terror professor, and comedians such as May Bautista and Divine Osina actually contributed in lightening up the mood and making the scenes comedic. Some characters, however, were not given justice that much, particularly Kian Cipriano's character, who despite being part of the Barkada, was not given that much of a highlight, aside from showing that he became a part of the modeling and entertainment industry after not passing law school admission. With all that being said, Bar Boys was not just a typical Barkada or law-related film. It provides us perspectives of the different sectors of the society that they delivered through good script writing and well-handled film production.